So, for those of you who handle minutes, you know that they're not very fun. Traditionally, it's something that takes hours to do. It's very tedious. You have to manually go through and transcribe, format, proofread, and that can drain you. That can take a lot of time out of your day. So, with Clerk Minutes, we take this hours long process down to about 15 minutes. So with Clerk Minutes, you're going to be able to spend more time doing things like improving your community with the time saved from administrative tasks. You can invest more in community projects. You can enhance your local services and even organize events that bring residents together. And the next thing that you can do with Clerk Minutes is build better relationships. You're going to have a more efficient minute taking process, and you're going to be able to foster better communication and transparency within your community. The last thing that you can do is professional development. So with that, that means things like attending more training sessions, participating in professional networks, and taking on projects that enhance your skills and career trajectory. It could even be things like joining calls like this to learn about the newest AI tech and how it can help you in your job. Clerk Minutes not only optimizes your workflow, but it also empowers you to make a lasting impact on your community, relationships, and professional life. So, how does it work? It's very simple and it only has 3 steps. The first step is building the agenda, or if you already have an agenda that you always make anyways, you can just upload one. I know places like North Carolina, for example, they're not required to have an agenda at all. So if you're one of the states that there's no requirement, maybe you don't build a full agenda already, you can just kind of do it in our system. The next step is to upload a recording of your meeting. If you're not already recording your meeting, it can be as simple as using a handheld recorder. And we also allow Zoom and YouTube links. And then the last step is to process the minutes. This is kind of just proofreading, making any of those final changes you need to make before the minutes are finished, and you can upload them to your website. So all it takes is 3 of these steps, and then your minutes are finished. Really quick, I'm going to dive just a tad bit deeper into each step. For building the agenda, you have the option, like I said, to upload and it'll kind of build it out for you using AI, or you can create an agenda in our system. This is as easy as just adding the agenda items in one by one and then attaching any documents if you want to have those in there. Next up, we just need to upload the recording. And as I mentioned, you can either upload a recording or video. It can be in MP3, MP4 format. We also accept the movie format. And then you can also, if you already record your meeting, maybe you stream it on Zoom and you have a public link, you can just drop that link in there and it'll actually pull the video file for you. Or like how Micah's streaming this on YouTube, you can also pull YouTube links as well and just copy and paste that URL in. And our system will take that and transcribe it so it can create minutes. So now we've uploaded our recording, and the last thing we need to do is process the minutes. So to process the minutes, we do have 3 sub-steps, but again, they're really quick. We need to assign speakers, set length and tone, and then proofread our minutes, and then we're done. So to assign speakers, all you do is it's going to generate that transcript from your video. And for each person that just talked during the meeting, or you could just do it for the important people, you just go through, select or add in their names. And you only have to do it once for each person. Our system can tell the difference between different people's voices. So if I assigned myself as a speaker, every single time I was talking, it would update it with my name. And this just helps, like I said, with things like if someone makes a motion, it will include their name in with the motion on our final minutes. And so once you've assigned the speakers, added your speakers in, the next thing you need to do is set length and tone. And this is just kind of customizing your minutes so they work for you. You can choose the length. We have short, medium, and long lengths. And then for the tone, it has a few different options, and you might want to play around with it just to see what works best for you. But we have like professional, official meeting format. We have a more casual tone of voice. Sometimes they add and take them away, so I don't know exactly what's on there. There used to be one that made it sound that you could make your minutes sound like a Southerner if you wanted them to sound like how I'm talking right now. All right, and once you've selected the tone, the last step is just to click generate draft minutes. And from there, the last step is to proofread your minutes. You can actually watch it type your minutes out as it's processing, and it's kind of fun. And then once it's finished, you can go through, and we have a built-in text editor, so you can make any required changes. If you want to create bullet points, add in links, anything like that, you can do all of that within Clerk Minutes. We do have some new things you can do. So I think up to here is probably similar to how it was in January. But we added a big update this past month called AI Actions. And what this does is it allows you to highlight sections or even the full minutes. And you can choose to make your minutes longer, make them shorter. You can have it rewrite it in a different style if you didn't like the original style that you chose. They're not working for you. And then we also kind of have a DIY change, and it's describe your change. And with this, you can tell it to do pretty much anything and it'll do it for you. So one thing you could do is have it translate your minutes for you and download a version in Spanish or German or whatever language you want them in. There's also option, like I said, you can pretty much do anything. Here, I told it to make the section longer and put it in paragraph form. So it's going to do that, and it's going to give you a little draft to look over, and you can either accept or discard the changes made. And you can always just retry if you didn't like what it generated. And so that's our cool big update. I think it'll help a lot of problems that people were having where certain sections weren't detailed enough and things like that. Or maybe if you just want your minutes to be different, you can ask it to build it differently. And then if you just didn't like what it generated, we now have a regenerate minutes button at the bottom, and you could just have it generate the whole thing again. So now we've finished the whole process, and your minutes are finished. With Clerk Minutes, you're going to reduce the time spent on minutes from hours to actual minutes. It's going to improve your accuracy. It's going to also allow you to reclaim time. Speaking of which, for everyone who's actually on this call, or if you're watching it back, we would like to give you the gift of reclaimed time and free up your space, your mental space and energy by giving you a 30-day free trial of Clerk Minutes. To claim that, everyone who's, like I said, who's watching this back or on the call now, you can either scan this and it'll take you to a registration page where you can register for the 30-day free trial. You can go to clerkminutes.com/try if you just want to try them out, and before you commit to a trial, which our trials are very easy to start. You don't have to put in credit card information. There's no obligation. So you can just honestly just sign up and play around with it if you want to and see how it works for you.